Alright, let's play some Magic. So we've got Guild of Ravnica draft. It costs $7.50 to play. I'm in silver. You need 6 wins to get all the gems back. Alright, let's begin. First pack we've got Chance for Glory. Creatures you control gain indestructible. Take an extra turn after this one. At the beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game. Seems pretty strong. Let's see what else is in this pack. A couple flyers, defender, and a bunch of black cards. Nothing on the same power level. This Chance for Glory. If I was playing in paper, this would actually be an ideal pack. We take the Chance for Glory, and it's unlikely that the person to my left would go into Boros too, unless they first pick something. Next, there's Blood Operative. It costs double black. I'm not going to go into there. Street Riot, it looks pretty good. It gives stuff trample. That's the Candlelight Vigil. There's an Elephant and Sworn Companions. Nothing else too impressive in the pack. We'll go with uncommon. Okay, next. That's garbage. There's the black cards, blue cards. The 2-drop First Striker. And that's about it. Oh, also a 2/2 Vigilance. I'll go with First Strike. Let's see, there's a sideboard card, equipment, another elephant. Rubble Belt Boar gives +2/+0 to something when it comes into play. Haste Mentor and a 5/2 Mentor. I'll take the boar. Maybe it was better to take the Haste Mentor, but both of those mentors kind of die quite easily. Blade Instructor and a Hammer Dropper, 2 mentors in this pack. Also a 2/1 flyer. Well, you need to activate it. Only for attacking. I'm gonna go with one of the mentors. Let's choose the 3/1 Blade Instructor. Okay, let's see. There's a Take Heart, Counterspell, Black Removal, and a Sure Strike. Sure Strike gives +3/+0 in First Strike for 2 mana. It's pretty good, but Take Heart is just 1 mana for +2/+2. Usually that'll give you the same results. Cards on color, there are Cosmetronic Wave, this Jumpstart for haste, and a 1/1 haste that gives haste to other stuff. Maybe Maximize Velocity, but I don't like it being sorcery. So I'll just go with Cosmetronic Wave, it's a finisher. Goblin Locksmith makes defenders not be able to block. We also got some gates and a double striker if you have gates. Golgari Locket, currently don't have any green or black cards. The Smith is kind of situational, but it does mess with blocking. Another one of these double strikers and Gravitic Punch has Jumpstart. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target player. It's another finisher, but I'll take the creature. Candlelight Vigil and nothing else. Nothing on color. There's a Locket, and Maximize Altitude gives +1/+1 and flying with Jumpstart. It's splashable. Sideboard card and black cards. Unfortunately there's no sideboarding. Nothing on color. Maybe I could splash green? Oh, a Locket for splashing green. Pack 2. Dawn of Hope. I don't know how good that is. That green guy is pretty good. Direct Current is quite solid, deals 2 damage to any target and has Jumpstart. Boom! Golgari. Got some interesting cards. This troll is still in there. We can't play with what we've picked so far, so let's see. Geared for Battle gives 2/+1/+1 counters. We got a Boros Challenger, Mentor, and he can pump for 4 mana. And what else? Oh, a Helium Patrol. 2/3, flying with Mentor. So I'm gonna go with one of the uncommons, even though the Helium Patrol is pretty good. So I'm gonna go with the Boros Champion because he's an early drop, and his ability to pump himself keeps him relevant later in the game. Also, I haven't really drafted that many 2-drops yet, so I need those. Hopefully I could get some Helium Patrols later, but Boros Challenger being an uncommon, it's unlikely that I'll see another one. Okay, let's see. Blade Instructor, Helium Patrol, and a pig. Well, you wanted Helium Patrol. Luminous Bond, that's removal, it's good. Alright, what is this? Minotaur. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, target creature an opponent controls can't block this turn. It's pretty good as an evasion. Don't have that many instants and sorceries right now. I should have taken that maximized velocity. One drop Goblin Mentor that could pump itself. Yes. Oh man, there's this Righteous Blow. Instant speed, combat, removal. But I'll go with the creature. Inspiring Unicorn. He's got a great personality, but his body isn't quite there. But there's a Swath Cutter Giant. Now that one's got a great body and an ability. Silent Dart. I think I need the removal, though the Beast is pretty good too. Let's see, nothing on color. Oh wait, no, there's a 2/2 Vigilance. I'll take that. Well, I could get a Plains with this. I don't know if I should splash for green, that +2/+2. Well, there's a Skyline Scout and a Sworn Companions. I don't think I've drafted any of these yet. I do want the sorcery for the Minotaur for evasion, and also the ones are good with Mentor. That looks good, but I don't think my deck is built for that. The pig though, the pig is solid. Maybe for the green splash, though it's unlikely. Cosmetronic Wave is the only card on color. Oh, I don't really want two of them, but whatever. Boros Locket, that's good, and it's playable. Selesnya, why? I really don't want to splash and get mana screwed. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Ordinary Goblin, that's respectable 2-drop, but don't really want to take it as a first pick in a pack. I could go with a gate to solidify my green splash, but don't want the mana screw. There's also the Maniacal Rage, gives the creature +2/+2, and the creature can't block. Normally you're just going to enchant your own guys, but occasionally you could use it to screw with your opponent's blocking, if you enchant their creature. Let's see, anything worth taking? Gravitic Punch. Don't think I've drafted one of those yet. But there's also a Boros Gate. I'll just take a punch for fun. Narcomoeba. Collar the Culprit. Removal. There's an elephant and maximized velocity on color. This pack doesn't have anything too interesting. Loxodon Restorer and a Torch Courier. I don't really want either of them. Probably just gonna go with an elephant, because I don't have much to give haste to except for maybe the Swath Cutter Giant. If it was best of 3s, the elephant could at least be sideboard material, but it's just best of 1s. Skyline Scout. Whenever Skyline Scout attacks, you may pay a colorless and white. It gains flying until end of turn. Evasion. And the only card in here is Ordinary Goblin. Alright, this is kind of a tough pack. You've got Color the Culprit, Take Heart, and a Maniacal Rage. All of them are playable. I already have a Color the Culprit and a Take Heart. Don't have a Maniacal Rage yet, but I have to take them over removal. Take Heart would probably be the most versatile, but it's only a one-time effect. Call of the Culprit is more of a mid to late game removal spell. Let's see, Sure Strike and a Boros Locket. I already have a Boros Locket, so Sure Strike. Well, another Maniacal Rage. I guess I should have taken one of those other two cards. Yeah, nothing good. I'll just take whatever. Elephant is playable, but meh. It doesn't look like there's anything in here. What does this card even do? Wand of Vertebrae. I think I have enough cards for a deck already, so it doesn't really matter at this point what I pick. It's just garbage. Now onto deck building. First we're gonna remove all the non-Boros cards and a bunch of cards that I don't think we'll play. Not particularly impressed by the elephant's body, and for life gain I don't want to go late, so you don't want multiple copies of Cosmetronic Wave or Ravnica Punch. 2 for Convoke, meh. The sideboard. So the plan of the deck is I want to get early pressure on my opponent, get their life total as low as possible, then I'll either win the game with Chance for Glory or maybe Ravnica Punch or Cosmetronic Wave. "15 creatures, 15 non-creature spells, so I need to remove more non-creature spells. I got 1 Sworn Companion, so that non-creature spell is more actually a creature spell. 2/2 Vigilance is not that impressive, but and I don't want to cut too many 2-drops, but you see I think I have enough to remove it. Might take out the Boros Signet because I'm not really ramping into anything. So Cosmetronic Wave and Ravnica Punch, I already got a Chance for Glory, so at most I'll just want 1 of these 2. The Ravnica Punch is a little bit more limited as to what it could do, though it has Jumpstart, but the Cosmetronic Wave, I could actually use it to take out creatures. Also with Ravnica Punch there's the potential of getting 2 for 1, but the Jumpstart kind of offsets it a little bit. Oh yeah, we have no gates, so the double strike guy is jank. Anyways, a little bit more about myself. So I've been playing Paper Magic for on and off for many years. Pretty decent, though I do make a lot of mistakes and such. Main purpose of this video is just a self-analysis of what I'm doing and trying to figure out how to improve my game. I've only drafted Guilds of Ravnica twice before this, so I'm not that familiar with the set. And as you can see in my deck building, many times I am quite indecisive and as I don't know what to cut, or can't make up my mind. Anyways, I eventually cut the Candlelight Vigil because I already have Maniacal Rage, and I also cut the Boros Locket. So I go into game 1 with a 41 card deck. Alright, opening hand, I'm going first. I have a 2-drop, Take Heart as a combat trick, 4 lands, 3 mountains and 1 plains, and the 6-drop, Swathcutter Giant. My opponent mulligans to 6. Play a mountain, pass the turn, and then on turn 2, I go full retard, play 2 mountains when I clearly needed the plains. So on turn 3, I play my 2-drop, and I missed out on 2 damage. And I hope that that 2 damage doesn't come back to bite me. Opponent has a 3-drop, and I draw a Skyline Scout on turn 4. The Boros Challenger could pump itself, or I could use the Take Heart. Unfortunately, I'm short on planes, so I just swing in for 2 damage. Opponent doesn't block, so I play the Skyline Scout and pass the turn. See, on turn 4, opponent drops a 2/5 Crab. They're in the mirror colors, so they should be able to beat me in the late game. I need to break through the defensive line, so I'll use the Maniacal Rage on my Boros Challenger, and then I could mentor my flyer for more damage. I don't bother activating the Skyline Scout's flying trigger because I have Take Heart in hand, and I will be able to take out the Crab if he blocks. After combat, I've got mana left over to play the Locksmith Goblin. Opponents turn 5, they drop a Demir Informant. Now they got more blockers. Now to try and get around this. Also, a deadweight is enchanted onto my Boros Challenger. I draw a Sure Strike. I want to use it to take out one of the blockers. Unfortunately, I'm a bit short on mana. I can't pump the Boros Challenger and use Sure Strike in the same turn. So the right play was probably to leave the mana open to use Sure Strike, but instead I pump the Boros Challenger and swing in with everyone. Turn 6, my opponent plays a Watcher in the Mist. I draw the 6th land for my giant, and I play him on turn 7. So if I'd used the Sure Strike last turn, he'd only have the Watcher in the Mist on the field. Also, if I didn't screw up on turn 2, he'd actually be at 9 health instead of 11. Opponent plays a second Watcher in the Mist and attacks me with their first Watcher in the Mist. I feel like that's super risky on my opponent's side, but I'm not sure what they have in hand. Anyways, I draw a Luminous Bond, and I use it to move their second Watcher in the Mist, so they only have one blocker. And now, if I hadn't screwed up earlier in the game, I should have been able to hit my opponent for 9 damage, ending the game. Anyways, I used the Sure Strike on my Locksmith Goblin because I'm short 1 damage from killing my opponent if I just use it on one of the unblocked creatures. My giant gets stuck in a capture sphere. Draw a land. And again, that 2 damage comes back to bite me. I should be able to end the game here if they were down 2 health. Anyways, I'm in a pretty good position. There's many cards I could draw to end the game, but I don't want to lose my Locksmith Goblin, so I just attack with the Challenger. My opponent plays a Veiled Shade, and I'm getting scared that I might have thrown the game. Anyways, they can only pump it once this turn, so I have to swing in with both creatures. I drew an extra land so I could pump my Boros Challenger twice, allowing me to mentor my Locksmith Goblin. This will force my opponent to block because they're at 4 health, and both my creatures have 4 power. My opponent has a combat trick to save their flyer, which is a mistake. They should have saved the shade, as they would be able to pump it next turn to kill off my challenger. Luckily, my opponent is also throwing the game. I swing with my Boros Challenger. If they block with this 1-3, I'll pump it once. If they block it with the flyer, I'll pump it twice. Luckily, they block with the 1-3, so I could play my Blade Instructor. My opponent drops another Veiled Shade, but they can only pump it once. I've got enough mana to pump my Boros Challenger twice. This will then trigger the Mentor ability, making my Blade Instructor a 4-2, forcing another block because they both have 4 power. Opponent draws a land and concedes. So as you can see from this game, both of us are clearly silver players. Moving on, game 2. I'm going second. In my opening hand I've got 3 lands, Silent Dart, 2 2-drops, and a Take Heart. I draw Chance for Glory, and I play a land and the Silent Dart. My opponent plays a 2-1 on their turn 2, so I'm going to go with the Ordinary Goblin because it takes out 1 toughness creatures like no one's business. So far it looks like my opponent is in Dimir, the second Dimir deck that we're playing. And again, we don't want to go late. On turn 3 my opponent plays a 2-3 with his Surveil ability. So I'm going to attack with my Ordinary Goblin. If they block with their 2-1, they're going to lose a card for no reason. If they block with their 2-3, I'll use Take Heart to win combat. So I'll first play the 2-1 First Striker. Boom! Opponent didn't read the card. +1 on card advantage. I didn't need to use the Take Heart, so if they attack, I could use the Take Heart then. Now we see that the block was actually calculated as it was going to die anyways. I'm going to use the Take Heart to save the Ordinary Goblin because that one can at least trade with the 2-3. Maybe I should have saved the other 2-drop so that I could block, but I was going to lose the card anyways. So I'm not drawing mana, so I play my 3-drop instead. So I should have swung here with my Ordinary Goblin so that I could race my opponent. I've got Chance for Glory in hand, so maybe I could use that as a finisher if my opponent's life total is low enough. So I miss out on 2 damage. My opponent plays a 1-2 flyer that surveils when it attacks. I draw the 4th land to activate my Silent Dart. I want to hit the 1-2 flyer because I currently don't have any other way to deal with it, and being allowed to surveil once a turn is going to add up. Oh man, they got 2 mana open. Here comes the tricky stuff. My opponent bounces my Ordinary Goblin. That's not too bad because next turn I could play both of my 2-drops. Opponent plays a Watcher in the Mist, and I feel that the game is starting to get away from me. So much surveil. To be honest, I didn't read the card properly, and I didn't realize that the 2-3 gets Death Touch whenever you surveil. Regardless, in that situation, I was either going to lose a card, or my opponent would draw a card. Lose-lose. I play my 2 2-drops, and I get hit by the flyer. Death Touch is quite annoying, but I draw Luminous Bond. So right now I could either play the 3-1 Blade Instructor with Mentor, or Luminous Bond to take out probably the 3-4 Watcher in the Mist. I'm not in immediate threat of dying because I still have 16 life and 3 damage is going to take a while. So I play the 3-1 to build up my board. My opponent plays a 0-3 Defender, and the Locksmith Goblin really helping out here. Long-term plan is I want to be able to play the Giant into Chance for Glory. This is a risky attack because I could be losing my Locksmith Goblin, which I need to get past the defender, but my opponent only blocks the mentor. Probably should have just left my creatures back, but I play the Luminous Bond and take out the Watcher in the Mist. Opponent has one card in hand, hopefully it's not a bounce spell. Turns out to be a counterspell. This is actually pretty good because I want to get rid of those tricks before my endgame plan comes into effect. I draw the mana for my giant. Since my opponent attacked and they only have a defender to block, I swing in with my locksmith goblin. Superstar. Play the giant, end the turn. So my opponent has two cards in hand, and all their mana open. It's kind of risky to use the Chance for Glory, but I'm on a 2-turn clock with the Watcher in the Mist, so I go for it. No response, so game over. I don't think there was any particularly glaring mistakes this round, at least compared to game 1. 2-0, Dimir is kind of annoying, off to a good start. So as you might remember, we're running 41 cards in a deck. So before game 3 starts, I'm going to cut a card, making a 40 card deck. The card I'm going to cut is Cosmatronic Wave. Thinking back on the 2 games that we've played so far, there hasn't been a single moment where I wanted to draw Cosmatronic Wave. Also, I've only seen a single 1 toughness creature so far. Opening hand. 3 lands, and I curve out 1 through 4. Unfortunately I'm going second, but whatevs. Opponent plays a 2-2 defender on turn 1, which is annoying because they're probably playing Dimir. This is going to be the 3rd Dimir matchup, isn't it? And there we go, the swamp. The Heart of the Cards answers my call, and I draw the 2-1 Locksmith Goblin. That guy's really been performing the last 2 games. So next turn I could either pump my 1-drop to mentor my Locksmith, or I could play my 3-drop. So the opponent plays Notion of Rain, which I actually don't mind, because they can't block with Defender, and they take 2 damage. So I decide to pump my 1-drop Mentor, which is probably a mistake. I should have probably played the 2-3 Mentor, Boros Challenger. That way on turn 4 I could then play the Pig to get the +2/+0 and another Mentor trigger. Dimir Informant is played to defend my opponent. And that 1-drop 2-2 defender is now going to be a 4-4. Luckily it doesn't lose defender when it gets its 5th +1/+1 counter, so I'll still be able to walk around it. And now it becomes obvious that I should have played my 2-drop Boros Challenger. So now my plan has been shifted back 1 turn, but I've got 2 pigs now, which I'll be able to use in the next while. Wow, the background music gives the game a different feel when it's sped up. Alright, this is going to be a roadblock. And the timely luminous bonds. Much bind, such light. Wow. So the Boros Challenger Mentor trigger will keep my Goblin Banneret from dying. I swing in with everyone because their defender can't block. Now I just need to get those pigs out and I should be able to win this one. And here comes the tempo. Select a snare, pushing me back a turn. Five coming at my face. So I could either play my 1-drop and 2-drops, or just go with the pigs. I would go with the pigs because I can at least get rid of some of the Demir informants, though it might be the wrong choice. Take another 5 to the face. Alright, pig number 2. There's a trick coming. Artful takedown. So I need to stall to re-establish board presence. I'm gonna take another 5 to the face, because I don't want to lose a pig just yet. I could take 1 hit from the 3-1 flyer and still survive, but it'll need at least 3 blockers total. The direct current could take out the flyer, and the sworn companions can gain me some life to help me stabilize. But as I'm in Boros, it's not good that we're going to late game. Alright, down to 2. Draw land. Now I need to play the direct current, or otherwise I'll die next turn. Still have some mana for the 2-drop Skyline Scout, so I'll play that too. No real good attack. Maybe I want to swing in with a lifelinker to gain 1 life, but that's about it. Another turn, another artful takedown. Looks like my opponent is also not too clear what they want to do either. They keep switching back and forth. Alright, land. I can finally play the giant. This will be able to hold off the 4-5. So the long-term plan is I want to get my Minotaur and my Locksmith out, and then hopefully I could direct current a win. Or direct current to mess with blocking, but here comes the Watcher in the Mist. Go down to 1. I have no way of dealing with the fire, so this is pretty much game. All I could do is go for an all-out attack. Maybe I could gain some life from the life linkers and survive one more turn. The most unfortunate part about this game is that Cosmatronic Wave could have won me the game if I had it right now, but it's been cut. Anyways, the turning point of this game is probably when I played those pigs instead of the 1-drop and 2-drops that I had. Also, there was that mistake on turn 3. If I played the turn 3 differently, I probably could have lowered my opponent's health a bit more than what it is. Then I could have potentially used direct current to the face and taken out my opponent that way. This way I wouldn't need the Cosmatronic Wave. Anyways, 3 games, 2 wins, 1 loss. Time for game 4. You know, if we were playing in a pot of 8, you probably wouldn't see 3 Dimir decks. Alright, opening hand. I've got 2 and 3 drops, and I could pump my Boros Challenger on turn 4. Go in first, and this time just make sure not to screw up my land drops. Like, I could play the Skyline Scout, but the 2-3 Boros Challenger basically beats out all other 2 drops. So it looks like we're up against Izzet this time. I don't need to worry about tricks because my opponent is tapped out, and my 2-3 is going to beat their 2-2 in combat. And finally, I want to race. Now I got the 1-1s to mentor for next turn, plus combat tricks. The opponent has no play on turn 3, so there's potential trick there, but I got 2 tricks on my sleeve. I'm going to lead with the Take Heart because if there is no combat trick, then I could just play my 2-drop, Skyline Scout. So here comes the counter spell, and we'll just Sure Strike for the board dominance. Now if their opponent doesn't do anything, we can just Mentor for the win. So I'm going to pump my Boros Challenger so I could do another Mentor. Probably for a 3-3. So here comes some more tricks. No Mentor this turn, but there goes 1 card. Opponent got removal. Probably gonna take out my Challenger on their turn so that I can't pump anything for next turn. Hello, Goblin Banneret. Another Mentor. I want to play the land here because I need to be able to pump my Goblin Banneret as much as possible to force in damage. But I guess in this situation, it's just going to take out the Niv-Mizzet. But that's cool. I'll use my 1-drop to take out their 6-drop. And then I got Skyline Scout as a 3/2 from the Mentor trigger. I don't need to pay for Skyline Scout's flying trigger because he ain't gonna block it. He's only got 8 life. Alright, now if he doesn't get 2 blockers, it's game over. Alright, 3-1. Game 5. Not going to make any changes to the deck at this point, because I think 40 cards is better than 41. And so far the performance has been pretty good. It's mostly been play mistakes. Not the greatest hand. Got 3 mountains, a 2-drop, and then two late game cards. It's kind of risky, but I'll keep it because I actually have something to do for the first 2 turns, and if my opponent doesn't, I'll be able to just smoke them. Okay, so 1/1 flyer. Play my goblin, and then Maniacal Rage next turn. If they got removal, I'm screwed, but we'll see. And it's Death Touch. That's not good. I drew a 3-drop Minotaur, so that'll give me something to do for turn 3. Probably should have swung in here first before playing my 2/3. If he traded, I could swing in for 4 damage with a Maniacal Rage next turn. Anyways, now I'm set back 1 turn. I need someone to trade with the Death Touch. And here comes the card advantage Surveil. I'll ditch the 6-drop because I'm really far away from that still. Oh sweet, I drew a Sure Strike. I could get past the Death Touch without losing a guy. At this point of the game, there's not much point in negating the blocking because my opponent's got too much health. Now I really want to draw planes next turn. Plays a Veiled Shade. You could pump it for 2 next turn. I'll try and get as much damage in as possible with the Maniacal Rage. So we get attacked for 1 again. I'm gonna lose a card. Lose the Chance for Glory instead of the Take Heart. It's a tough choice for my opponent, but I think they should have gotten rid of the Take Heart. Anyways, here comes the planes that are desperately needed. If I use the Take Heart early, I could go in for 8 damage, but I don't want to deal with the Veiled Shade later. Come on, trade. Trade. I get some chump blockers and I get swung in the air from 1 damage. So I don't want to go late game, so I'd really need to trade and try and force damage in. So he double blocks the Minotaur, and I gain a card, basically. I get hit for 1 again, and there we go, the -1/-1. I lose my Blade Instructor. So I'm probably going to lose my 2/1 that I have in hand, but I still have my 4/3 on the board. Unfortunately I draw a land, but I swing in for 4, so he puts him down to 4. So I'm going to keep the land in hand to try and get my opponent to make me discard it again instead of dealing with the 4/3. Well, I guess that didn't work, and I'm going to trade with the Death Toucher. Now with Sworn Companions I'll have 2/1/1s. The 5/4 Sphinx, that's a problem. Okay, I got 3 guys now. Skyline Scout and 2/1/1s. Not going to attack because I can only get 1 damage through. Some Surveil stuff and the Defender. No attacks from my opponent. I draw a Bohemian Patrol. Okay, this is starting to look good. So I'm gonna try attacking next turn. Hopefully he doesn't play too much stuff. Okay, he's got no plays, so I'm gonna swing all in and mentor one of my tokens. This way I'll be able to guarantee at least 3 damage, put him down to 1. He's got a trick reducing my damage, but I don't know why he didn't block my 2/2 Lifelinger. So at this point, if I could draw a Direct Current, or if I have any pump spells left. No, I don't think I have any left. Alright, discard the land. And they play Notion of Rain. Misplays, baby! To be fair, he should be at 3 life. They probably just misclicked the 1/1 instead of the 2/2 and thought they still had 3 life. Anyways, my win. 4-1. So in the last game, I kept a relatively risky hand. Probably should have mulliganed, but I haven't had to mulligan so far, so I've been pretty lucky. Also, that was another Dimir deck. What the heck is this? Alright, I'm going first. Opening hand is solid. 3 lands, 1 drops, 2 drops, and I've got stuff to do with my mana later. So they've got that Boros angel as their avatar. Maybe I'm against the mirror match this time. Right, turn 1, Goblin Banneret. Turn 2, Goblin Locksmith. Swing in for 1 with the Goblin Banneret. Yeah, they are playing Boros. Okay. Oh, I got a Sure Strike. I can get rid of their 2-drop. That'll leave mana open for my Silent Dart. The other option is to pump my Goblin Banneret for the Mentor ability and see what happens. Okay, another 2/2 Vigilance. I'll Maniacal Rage my Goblin Locksmith. Let's see, that thing's got Mentor, and you don't want to do excessive amounts of damage to it. So I'll use the Dart. My opponent plays a Dart of their own, but my Goblin Locksmith is outside of the 3 damage range. I got 4 toughness. So here I could either play the Minotaur or the Healing Patrol. The correct play would probably be to use the Minotaur and then Chance for Glory for the win. My opponent taps out, so yeah, that's GG. Chance for Glory. But hold on, if this was a best of 3, you wouldn't want your opponent knowing you had a Chance for Glory, so I'll just use a Sure Strike instead. 5-1. Also, I ranked up to gold, so things will probably get harder. Alright, game 7. I just need 1 more win and I'll be able to get back all the gems that I spent for this ranked draft. I'm going first. Opening hand is decent. I got 2 drops and Healing Patrol for 4. Opponent mulligans to 6, so let's begin. Alright, turn 2, Ornery Goblin. And we're up against another stinking Dimir deck. Alright, now I gotta trade with his Dimir blocker. So I still have 1 Ornery Goblin on the field and a Healing Patrol in hand. Discard. I don't feel like that's a playable card, but alright, I'll discard a land. Swing in for 2 and play a Healing Patrol. So I run the risk of my opponent surveilling and drawing cards off of his surveil guy, but let's see if he trades. Okay, he trades. So now I only have the Healing Patrol on the field. My opponent plays a crab. It's not worth using my kill spell on it. I draw a boar. Healing Patrol goes in for 4. Alright, that 4/5 is kind of a problem. I'll get rid of it. Capture Sphere takes care of the Healing Patrol. And Call of the Culprit takes care of that 4/5. Okay, I draw another pig. My opponent needs to either take 5 or trade with the crab. They take the 5. Now I guess this guy's playing a hybrid between Izzet and Dimir. It's kind of annoying too. Now I'm stalled. Let's see if he'll block the pig. He's got another crab. And a 1-1 surveil guy. Draw a Minotaur and I'm kinda stuck. So my opponent's at 6, so I just have to try and sneak some damage through. Well, there goes my Minotaur, and my opponent's now at 11. I'm drawing some 2-drops, but it looks like both of us are in top deck mode at the present time. Chance for glory. This could work, but not yet. Opponent plays Veiled Shade. That's going to be kind of a problem. Alright, I draw a Maniacal Rage. If I put it on the board, I might be able to get through, but it's going to be dependent on blocks. So it's not good. I'm just going to take out the Veiled Shade first. Slowly getting whittled down by the 1-1 flyer. Oh, I drew a Mentor. This will help. Yeah, the attack the last turn might not have been the best idea, but I needed to get rid of the Veiled Shade before they untapped. Alright, this Defender. Guess what? Locksmith Goblin, the superstar. Okay, now I think I got this. We got the Giant this turn. Hopefully he's not being countered. Next turn I just need a Chance for Glory and I should be able to get this. Alright, definitely got this now. Sure Strike. Chance for Glory, that should do it. I'm going to bait with the Sure Strike first. And if they have a trick, then the Chance for Glory will go through. Alright, looks like they got nothing. We got this. Man, everyone's just playing Dimir. What's going on? Also, I screwed up that last attack. I could have just used the Sure Strike to deal 11 damage. Alright, game 8. This is not a very good game. I mulligan the first hand because I have no creatures. Hand of 6 is good, but I have no plains, only 2 mountains. There's a mountain on top of my deck, which I scry to the bottom because I really want a plains instead of a third mountain. On my opponent's turn 3, he gives all creatures -1/-1. Not the end of the world because we both lose 2 cards in that exchange. But in 5 draws, I haven't drawn a land, so I'm kind of screwed. Turn 6 I get a mountain, which helps a little bit, but the white cards are starting to pile up in my hand. I decide to try and race my opponent, because I don't really have much else I could do right now. I draw a 4th mountain and play my last card that doesn't require white mana. And that's pretty much game. First I get mana screwed, and then color screwed. Not too big a deal because I already got all my gems back, and this was bound to happen eventually. 6 and 2, let's move on. There's another Dimir deck too. So game 9. Going first, I have no plays until turn 4, so I mulligan. Probably should have just risked the 6, but the 3/1 Sword Instructor was the only creature I had, and that trades too easily. I go to 5, scry to the bottom, and I play the Goblin Banneret. I have a Sure Strike to take care of some early creatures, but that'll only deal with 1. I get stonewalled by a spider, and I play my 1/1s. I'm against Selesnya, and they tend to have better creatures than Boros, so this is gonna be bad if it goes late. Being on the back foot, I just stall. I draw a direct current, so I decide to swing in with my Mentor and my Minotaur, because it messes with the blocking. Candlelight Vigil puts me down to 3, and I'm back to stalling. I swing with my lifelinker just to gain some life and stall. And I screwed up over here. You see, I thought the direct current was an instant speed spell, so I just get hit by the spider and be at 1 life.